This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So today we'll be talking about dynamically how to create component dynamically.
Hey Naresh, this syllabus is shared, Naresh? Because I don't see it in the training. This one,
Which one?
this Word document, right?
Uh-huh.
Can you put that also in that the shared folder,
Okay, okay.
right? It will kind of give, right? So what is that happening, right? Because I am not attending continuously, right? Because of my work and job search and also I couldn't join, right?
Uh-huh.
In latter point of time, if I want to compare, right? So this syllabus is there, I can see, okay, which subject, which, content and which class we are doing, then it will be easy.
Okay, no issues. All over. Okay. So to create the component dynamically, we have a method in Lightning. Let me tell you that method. Syntax or method is $a dot create component. Okay. This is the method or this is the function name to create the component dynamically. $a dot create components. So basically, create components is used to create the multiple component, and if you want to create one component, then we use create component. So basically, it requires few parameter, and those parameter are string type, like which type of component you want to create, object attributes, means like what are the attributes you want to pass when you are creating the component, and the function, what you want to do in that function. Similar like callback function as we are using till the time. So basically, we pass three parameters inside this, inside $a dot create component function to create the dynamic component. First is type, that will be the string. Another is attribute, which will be the type of object. So it depends how many number of attributes you want to pass. Another is function. Let's say you want to create a lightning button dynamically. So in that, type will be lightning button, and attribute will be like name or id, like this. And callback will be having again this similar way as we call the effect function, and we use callback function. The same way we will be using that. Let me show you that.
Here. What is different method and create component from dev console?
Sorry, your voice was breaking.
What is the difference with the create method and the component we are creating from the console?
Create method.
I mean to say the create component,
Uh-huh.
we are creating the component dynamically, right? Using that one and the component we are creating from the developer console. What will be the difference between these two?
Basically, what we do in that case, we launch the component dynamically. At runtime, we decide like which component we want to open. So we use that component. And rather than writing the code in the component itself, we write the code, entire
Mm-hmm.
code in the JavaScript, JS controller.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it's raining heavily here, so there is no power. I'm using the hotspot for the session.
What is that?
Sorry, Karthik, what you said?
The value you put like this, right? So what does that do? This means this component or the value?
This is the default handler in it.
Okay.
So I'm going to create one button dynamically.
So the C dot do init, right? Do init, right? What is that means? Like,
Doing it will be the JavaScript function.
it's a JavaScript function. Okay.
So at the loading time, we will be calling this, and we will be creating the button dynamically. We won't be writing any code in the component, but we will be writing the code in the JavaScript controller, client side controller. As I said, we'll be using the method $a dot create component. As I said, first parameter will be this type of string. So that is the lightning button. Another will be the attribute, object type attribute. Like as we pass the aura ID on the button, label, and the on click function. So when we will be going to click on that button, we will be calling another function, handle button, and last one is callback function. We will be going to call the new button, and like what when we will be calling that creating the component, what will be the status, whether it will be error or success, and if there is error, what will be the error message. So here we will be checking the conditions. If status equal to success, then we will be going to set the component body. and we'll be going to push this button inside this body. Push is a function of array in the JavaScript. This button in this array, and we'll set that. Let me save it, and this one also. Let me use the same app. C colon. It's asking about the handler button action.
What is that handle button does, Naresh? That handle button function?
Okay, I'll tell you. Karthik, don't worry. See, basically what we are trying to do, rather than creating the components or the button inside component, like writing the code. Let's say if we need to click and we need to create or define on a button the lighting component. So how we define lightning column button
Yeah.
label equals to click or ID equals to, let's say, button ID, and
Okay.
on click equals to C column handle button. In this manner, we are used to define the button inside component.
Yeah.
So rather than creating the button inside component, we are creating in the current side controller. See, lightning button.
What is doing there?
Sorry.
What is the advantage doing in the JavaScript controller than component?
Couple of times we need to launch the things dynamically from one component to another component. Let's say you are on
Okay.
the component, and when you click on some button, you want to launch another component, and you want to show some other thing. So dynamically we
Okay.
can handle that. Dynamically we can create that. So in same way we have defined lighting button here. We have defined the label. You can see label this one, and we have defined the on click function. On click function era component get reference handle button, and this is your ID. So all the things we have defined dynamically, and here in this function we are setting that, we are sending that to the component, but we are doing all these things dynamically. We are not writing the code into the component. We are doing everything in the controller itself.
Okay.
Let me click on this. See, we are able to call another function also on the button, on the click of this button, calling button. So simple, as I explained, $a dot create component requires three parameters. String type, like what type of component you want to create, whether you want to create any button or any other thing. Object attributes, what are the attributes you want to create, and function callback. Because in function callback, you will be setting the response, whether it will be success or fail or error. Similarly, you can create button, you can create input fields also.
Can you show that on the JavaScript controller that you created? Yeah, so it's $a create component is there.
Yeah.
So string type is the it's lightning button. Okay, that's the one, right?
Right, right.
Okay, where is that other one? Like, what is the next one you said in the?
These are the attributes. Like on the
Okay.
button, what are the attributes you will be passing?
Like this button ID, click and on click, all those things.
Correct, correct, correct.
And the last one is function callback. That's the one that you wrote the
Yeah.
function new button start message. Okay.
Because if it's success, that means we'll be going to create the button. We'll be setting the response in the body. You can set line number 14.
Yeah.
Naresh,
Yeah, Rishita.
so what exactly is this setting callback? Can you clear it?
Sure. See,
Getting callback means we are getting something response from the server, or
so whenever we are calling this function or this function is being called to in it, it will be coming here. Okay, it will be creating these things. Might be like if we have defined all these things syntactically accurate, that means we need to set that response because we are creating the lightning component. We are here setting the attributes and defining the type. So we need to send that these things to the component. Because until unless we want to be sending this response to the component, we want to be able to display this data or this type to the component. So what we are doing first, we are defining the type, like what type it will be. It can be lightning input, it can be lightning button, it can be anything. Then here we have defined aura ID, label, and the on-click function. Because whenever we will be pressing the button, what we want to do, and here in the function, what we do, we set the response on the basis of status. In response, what we are going to define the new button. Status means of if our status is success, that means we need to set the body and we need to send that response to the component. Here I'm using, you can see v dot body. But I need to define that body. I need to set the body. This is the standard attribute v dot body, but we need to set it dynamically. So what we are doing in the function, we are setting it here.
yeah.
Anyone, any doubt, guys?
So the C dot handle button is standard functionality. We can write anything here.
Ah,
Get reference.
this is the function component dot get reference, and inside function when you click the button, you can do anything. So you can call any.
And this aura ID also we can give any value here.
Ah, we can use that. Okay. Let me create one input field also.
Naresh, can you run this? Could you once execute this?
Sorry, Rahul, what you said?
Could you just run this once? Because I want to see the output.
Sure, sure.
So the button click is nothing but it got generated dynamically, right?
Right, right, right.
Okay. Within the component load, within the page load.
Correct. Okay. So Let's create one input field as well. So what we will be going to do here in the doing it, we will be creating the input field here dynamically. This is the function $.create component. Here I need to define the lighting input. Because I need to create the input field. Here I need to define the attribute. What are the attributes I want to have here? Here, if you want to define any label, let me show you what are the attributes supported by the Lightning input. Let it load first. Internet is bit slow actually. Due to the rain, there is no power. So lightning input is something where the single tag you can use with different types. But it supports all the type. We just need to define the type, like what type you want to have there. So you can see we can define type checkbox here. We can define type date, type input. We can define anything here. What are the attributes supported by it? These are the attributes. We can define body, name, value, variant, disable, read only required, on change, on focus, on blur. So these are the things as supported by this component. So let us create here ID, on change, and now here we need to find the function. First attribute will be, let's say, lightning, lightning input. Another is we need to define the status to see like whether it's a success or error in the same way. And the error message, is there any error? These are the variables, nothing else. So if again status equals to success, then we are going to set the body. Body dot push. We're going to post this input here, and component dot set v dot body body. Let me include that component here. C colon dynamic component input. Let's refresh this app. That's not being.
So you are inside the component again, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Because you are already inside the component only, right? Then line number 9, why are you writing the line number 9? Because already you are inside the component.
I need to include that in another component, not this one here.
Oh, okay, that's what I said.
Here. Okay, it's showing cannot read property G of undefined. Let me see what is G. Yes, yeah, this is also okay. Get RE reference. Now we got the component. We will press anything, it will be going to fire the function at every key. Even though you can get the key like what you are entering here.
What was the problem?
When they doing it in the syntax error.
Where was the error?
Syntax error it was.
Where was that the syntax error in this thing in the controller? JavaScript controller? Yes, I didn't notice.
Component.
Oh, in the component. Okay.
So whatever the key will be writing here, we will be getting that here. T U whatever the things we will be writing, we will be getting here. So this is the dynamic component using syntax and the pattern. So any doubt in both the components how I have been created?
Naresh,
Yes.
so it is a input field, right? So why do we need here on change event?
You don't want to you don't want to apply any filter validation on that. It might be needed like you haven't defined any input for email or the phone number. So you want these things in a proper format. So how you will be validating? Even you don't in the phone number, you want to restrict users to enter the ABCD or the string character. Then how you will be going to restrict that? So on change, when you are the user will be entering any key, the same time you will be checking whether that is the numeric value or the string or character. Same time you will be alerting that no, you are not authorized to provide the string and the phone number. It's your wish
Okay.
whether you want to call or not, but for the validation purpose we can use. Okay, guys.
Can you tell that what is handle input one more time, Naresh? Handle input, right? What does that do? Component at get reference, line number 8. But
Line number 8 here.
yeah, the handle input, right? C call C dot handle input.
See,
Is it the function or the handle input?
this one.
What does that do? Handle input once?
Handle input a function name.
Oh, function name. Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so any doubt, guys, or okay? So thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye bye. Take care. See you tomorrow the same time.
Okay.